Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is J Morris, Review Guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be doing an album review for RM's new album entitled Mono. So, happy Halloween, guys. This is when I'm recording this. I hope this is the day that it'll go up. I hope that you guys are having or had a great Halloween. If you want to post in the comments below what your plans are or what you have done today, feel free to do that. So, RM, Rap Monster, the leader, rapper, and songwriter, or one of the songwriters, I should say, for the hugely phenomenal and phenomena South Korean K-pop band BTS. This is his second mixtape. He released one in 2015. I'm not sure if I've checked that one out. I don't personally think I have because the name's not coming to my head. But a regret that I did have earlier this year, I believe it was in March, is not covering J-Hope's solo project, Hope World, which I really wanted to, but I just ended up not doing it. But that ends now, because we're going to be covering this new 7-track, 24-minute affair by Rap Monster, or RM. Tokyo starts off with such a great atmosphere. It's 3 minutes and 28 seconds, and to be honest, it is one of my favorite tracks on the album, but at the same time, it's very weird because RM does something quite a bit on this album, but it's probably most prevalent on this song, where he will kind of stay in this very low register that is borderline spoken word, where it's not necessarily rapping, it's just kind of he's talking out these lyrics, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, just something I wanted to point out. But the melodies and harmonies are fantastic on this song. I really enjoy the melodies, especially the humming parts. It really is just a great song. Soul is a 4 minute and 35 second banger track, kind of takes a similar route that Tokyo does. This one's in Korean, whereas I believe Tokyo, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was listening to it, it is fully sung in English. That's something I should have mentioned. I'm pretty sure it was fully sung in English. And by the way, I hope I'm looking at the camera because I literally can't see a thing out of this. But this track was produced by Han. Not familiar with that person, but the beat sounds really nice. That's something I wanted to point out about this album, is all of the beats sound so good on this album. They are definitely the standout thing. Now, RM's lyricism, RM's vocals, they are fantastic. The flows are good. Everything else is good. It's just the beats really do give a lot of these songs life because they're very spacey, very atmospheric, very ballady, R&B-ish. This is kind of what Joji's album should have been. But yeah, Soul has an infectious hook. I love the hook on this track, and that's something else about this whole album, is all of the choruses are very infectious. Yes, a lot of the verses can come off sometimes a little bit, I wouldn't want to say weak, but just a little underwhelming the way they're delivered, but the choruses really make up for it by having these explosive, really humongous, they sound epic, they sound theatrical, choruses basically. The third track, Moonchild, is shorter than both of the ones that came before it, but I definitely love this track a lot. I think that Rap Monster, or RM, I'm so used to calling him Rap Monster, Kim Namjoon, sounds a lot more lively and emotional on this track. He sounds a lot more like he's given it his all, and I'm not saying he doesn't give his all on some of the more toned down tracks. He's just staying in tune with the instrumental. I just feel like, on this track, he shows a lot more kind of liveliness and pizzazz to add to the track. Bad Bye is, I guess, somewhat of a little interlude. It's 1 minute and 52 seconds, and it features Aeon. I'm sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. To be honest, I'm not really big on this track. It is so strange. It has this odd sound to it, these odd kind of maybe pitch changed vocals. I'm not familiar with this Aeon guy, so if this is his style, then I guess that I'll eat my words. But I wasn't really big on this track, but the fact that it was so short really didn't take that much away. A Good Out of Place is another really spacey, just so lively, such a fantastic beat. That's something I gotta commend, and RM's vocals on this track sound really good. I just wanted to say, on this whole album, RM has such a nice voice where he's kind of borderline singing, borderline rapping, borderline spoken word. He has such an interesting tone. The next track, Everything Goes with Nell. South Korean indie rock band. I looked them up. They were formed in 2001. You can really tell because it does have a lot more of a percussion indie type feel to the entire song, and I like this track a lot. I think that the instrumental's interesting. It provides some nice little more atmosphere, and to be honest, it's not my favorite track on the album because I feel like RM's style kind of fits more of his own style more than an indie rock style, but it's still very passable. And then the final track, Forever Rain, the second longest on the album. This had an amazing video tied to it. The only video besides the lyric video for Soul. Love this track. I think that it has such a great atmosphere. RM's vocals come off great. And if I had to complain about one thing about the entire album, it's that sometimes the lyrics can sound maybe a little bit more underwhelming than what you'd get on a BTS album, and I've went this whole video without really comparing RM to BTS, but it really shows, though, simultaneously that while it's not as necessarily as strong of a project as something that he would do with BTS, it's still a really nice effort, and for a second mixtape, I think it's great. This debuted, I believe, at 26 on the Billboard 200 of the US charts, so like 16,000 copies. It was really nice. It was a really nice debut. It's been doing great in countries, and I'm really happy considering the fact that they're on tour right now, and this album, besides being posted on like BTS's Twitter, I believe, was not really hyped up at all. But yeah, I'm going to be giving this album an 8 out of 10. It's by no means perfect, and honestly, one of the bigger things I can say is I wish it was just longer. I personally wish that the song was the album was just a bit longer. And I think that RM does a great job. The beats are phenomenal. The beats are outstanding. And if you want to hear a short little sweet kind of atmospheric album, if you're into BTS, if you're into RM, or if you just want to try something new, then definitely check this out. I was literally dying in that mask. I couldn't breathe. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like. What were your thoughts of the album? If you've listened to it, go crazy in the comment section below. And subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me out a ton. Hit that bell because I upload regularly. And I'll talk to you guys next time. But until then, my name is JMorrisReviewGuy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.